Okay, so yesterday, okay, wait, let me go back to, so we started initial planning. So we're trying to run a simulation of what needs to be done, right, when you're starting a sprint. It is different when the sprint is already ongoing, right? You might not need to do all this. You are just going to be going through the artifacts, right, to see what has already existed, right, within the organization. So you might not be starting all this, right? That is if the sprint is already ongoing. But if it's a new project, you're giving it to you newly to start, then you have to go through all of this, okay? So this is what we tried to accomplish yesterday. We talked about the discovery session with the sponsors and stakeholders, people that needs to be there, what are the things you're trying to finalize. We talk about the between the Scrum Master and the product owner and the technical lead, what needs to be done, then conclude on the availability, and the Scrum Master setting up a meeting for the team to start on the sprint zero and the activities that needs to be done. And we're currently going through those activities. So we created this checklist. Yesterday, we talked about the team mobilization, meeting the team. We talked about the purpose of the meeting. We worked on the team norms and working agreements. We talked about the team priming. We also did that, and we talked about the skill matrix. And we have all that here. I can print it out as PDF and send it to you guys. We have the purpose, we have the working agreements, we have the team priming, and we also have the skill matrix. The skill matrix as well. Okay. Okay, so that was where we stopped yesterday. So today, we're going to go back to our checklist and start with the product vision. So I said, if you want to edit your conference page, you go to the pencil, you click on it, it's an edit button. And I'm just doing like a task list. So I'm using this to do that, the action item button, So now we're going to be working on the product vision. So who worked on the product vision? Did anybody work on the product vision?
Product owner.
Gafar, so I gave homework. So I'm asking that, did you work on the product vision?
Oh, okay. No. I'm sorry. I thought you were asking.
Okay. So who worked on the product vision?
Hi, Florence. I just tried to I have jotted down some few points on product vision.
Okay. Do you want to share?
Well, it's in the Word document. Do you want me to share it?
It's fine. It's fine.
Okay.
I'll stop sharing so you can share. Okay? You can share now.
Well, actually, I don't have Zoom downloaded, so it's asking me to give the preferences, securities, and all.
Oh, you don't have...
Yeah, it will take some time, I think.
Okay. Who else worked on the product vision? Don't be shy.
I worked on it a bit, Florence.
Okay,
but I just put everything in Excel.
It doesn't matter. Let's see what you've done.
Okay. Okay, so I kind of broke it down based on the outline that you had. Sorry, I just noticed I didn't. Hold on. Just so it's easy for people to read.
Okay.
Yeah. One more thing. Okay, so under the vision, the purpose, extend flaky music and video options online. The positive changes or change that it will bring about, it will allow her customers the ability to purchase music and video offerings online. It'll utilize payment subscription model to stream music and videos. So that can be in addition, well, to her customers. So that will allow her an additional revenue stream, like a predictable revenue stream. And then expand the customer base outside of her current local presence. So those are just some of the things I came up with.
Nice.
And then for the target group, I put groups. I guess it should really be one, but so
it's fine. Target groups.
Oh, okay. So her existing in-store customers, right? Because she still wants to have her base with her. And then the fact that she wants to encourage and embrace new and young emerging artists, that would be another group with the portal. And then existing online music and video customers. So it could be like her competition that isn't aware of her being online, and she can attract them as new customers. So as far as the need, what problems will the online website solve? It solves the problem of flaky.
It's fine. Call it anything.
All right, flaky. Being forced to close its doors temporarily or possibly permanently from COVID restrictions, which is a reality with a lot of businesses right now. And then it solves the need of her current customer base leaving and doing business with her competition because she doesn't have an online presence, right? Because they're unable to go to the store to purchase their music and videos. And then the product, it's an online website and mobile application to purchase videos. It allows users to create and share custom playlists with each other. I didn't put the portal in there, but I'm sure I put it here. All right. So what makes it stand out? It provides discounted access to a portal to help young emerging artists upload and sell their music and video content. As far as the product feasibility, it's a feasible product to develop because the music and video buying and streaming framework already exists in the market. So it's not something that she has to create from scratch and doesn't have a reference point to build upon. The owner has a very loyal customer base, and that fits within the target demo of young and emerging artists. And this has been I made an assumption here that it's been a recurring request of her existing client base. And then barring any unforeseen financial hurdles or otherwise, Flaky has the resources available to proceed with the venture. So as far as the business goals, how's this product going to benefit the company? It will provide Flaky's existing customers with increased flexibility in their purchasing options. It will create the opportunity for Flaky to establish an online presence. It will create the opportunity, well, some of these are mentioned before, but it creates the opportunity for her to go beyond local and actually establish a global presence. And it provides additional revenue generating streams for Flaky via the subscription model that I mentioned earlier. So now just like, okay, when people come into her store, it's basically a single transaction. So they may come in. So this month is April. They may come in and get records and videos in April, but maybe the next time they come in could be June, and then the next time July, and then they're not back till September. But with this subscription model, she will have money coming in. It'll be smaller increments, but now she can have like a volume strategy. So the more people she has on subscription, let's say that total revenue covers all of her overhead just from that alone. And then she still has money coming in from those single transactions.
Wow, that is great. Great job. Yeah. We'll get to the business requirement, but this is awesome. Like, this is beautiful. So do you understand which of the methods you use for this product vision. We have 3 ways you can do a product vision. So which one of the template did you use?
If you list them.
Okay. I'll list them for you.
I know there's 3.
There's 3. Yeah. Okay. We have the elevation pitch, we have the vision board, and we have the vision box.
I think I used the vision board.
Yeah, correct. Good job. Well done. This is very good. Very good. Okay, great job.
Okay, so I'm going to stop share.
Okay. Did we have anyone else that did something? Joanne.
Oh, yes. Hi, Florence. So I use the elevator pitch, so mine is a bit shorter than that.
Great. Yes, let's see.
Okay.
I just want everyone to see the different versions, so, okay. And that sorts out our product vision. Okay. You can share.
Okay.
Well done.
So this is what I just did for the elevator page. So I just did for millennial music and video lovers who want to buy music and videos online. The Flaky Music app is a digital music product that offers a wide variety of music and video content. Unlike Spotify, our product offers a platform for young emerging artists.
Solid. Well done. This is good. So so now Erica has shown us the vision board. Joanne has showed us the elevator pitch, right? So very good, right? Solid. Is there anything else I need to explain regarding the vision, the product vision? Because I think Joanne and Erica did justice to this, right? So we can as well say that we're done with our product vision. So the product vision is supposed to help the team understand. Most of the time, when you do the product vision, is a collaborative effort, right? So you work together as a team, but you expect the product owner to lead that stuff. The product owner will tell you what we are trying to do. Then she will, you put it together. So I think Joanne and Erica did a very, very, very good job. So well done to both of you. Well done. And you showed us the two ways we can, write our product vision. So for the third one, I will play the video for you, and that will end product vision. Okay? Well done. Because you just made the job easier, and I like the fact that you were able to come up with something. Okay. So I'll be playing the video for you, and that will be I said there are 3 ways you can write it, right? You can use the board, box, and elevator pitch. So well done. So depending on the organization you are, they might be one that they are more familiar or more comfortable with, okay? Let me make sure the sounds okay here. Turn the sound.
All right, team, so our next part now that we're going to talk about is the vision of the project. I'm going to give you just an overview of what visioning is about. What does a vision really look like? So typically a vision statement looks something like this. This is Geoffrey Moore's elevator pitch for this target client or this target customer who has the following need or opportunity, some problem that they've got. This project or product, whatever we're going to be offering, has the following compelling benefits to them, right? So that's the typical statement. An optional part of that vision statement is, unlike their current alternative, which doesn't work very well, obviously, our product or project is going to be different because of this, this, and that. So that's one example of how you can write a vision statement. The other one that's really popular and easy, and maybe that's the one that we could use today, and Kelly will facilitate that for us, is something called designing the box. So designing the box means that you have very limited space to sell your product and to get it into the market. And so you want to show people that are looking at your product what is the benefit of this product. So the front of the box usually has what is the name of the product, and what are the main benefits of that product? What are the key selling points for it? And then the back of the box has, here's the description, generally what it is, and here's the key features that will be delivered from the product. Make sense, you guys? So that's an example. I am going to show you a picture up over here real quickly of a couple of examples of other visions, so you can see a product box. So this is a front page of a member portal site that has, here's the key objectives, which is reducing call volume, increasing self-service. Notice that they're written in a way that's more value-based. Here's like sort of the objectives of the project. But then the back of the page has, here's a general description that the member portal provides convenient, efficient, highly available access to their benefit information. And then here's the features that will be delivered. So, all right, take it away. Kelly.
Melissa, as product owner, you want to help us with our box exercise? Do you want to do the front page where we focus on the benefits?
Yeah,
or
we
do you
can
want
do
to
the front.
Second. Okay, front.
I've never done one of these before, so you guys will have to help me out.
And Melissa, even before you begin to write it, can you just tell us in general, what is this about? So just sort of verbally talk to us about what the project is about, what your vision is, and then we'll help you. Even the rest of the team will help you put together your product box.
Okay. Well, a lot of you might know that in today's world, we receive phone calls from the agents in order to submit claims. What we really want to do is make that process more seamless. These agents don't have to choose us to work with, and I think we've been pretty difficult to work with. So we really want to make our process easy, fast, give them a portal to come in and enter their claims so that they're not thinking, well, our competitor is easier to deal with, so I'm just going to start selling those products instead of ours here at Agility. So we really want to make sure that we're more competitive, easy for the agents to deal with. Right now, they just don't have very good access to their information. They call in, they give us the claim information, and then they pretty much never see it again. If they want to know where it's at, they have to call us. Even just within our claims department, Michelle, you can chime in at any time. We have all these handoffs.
You said you want to start with the front page?
Yeah, I think let's start with the front of the box. And like I said, I've never done this before. So should I just label this the front?
You can put it, put the name of yours. So this is what, Agility Insurance?
Sure.
Release 2 Vision, right?
Seeing an agent at a computer just typing away and being able to just see it take off.
No, is your idea that the agent's going to be able to access this 24 hours a day, 7 days a week from any location?
Absolutely. I'd really like to try for 24/7.
Exactly.
So Foundation for Growth, and decide member benefits.
Everything right now.
We are putting the story
By the accessibility and the security, what do we need to take into account? So do we want that as part of this vision, or is that going to be covered at a later point?
Where will we get to that? Because I want to feel comfortable that we're not going to forget about that.
We cannot forget about security. That's one of your requirements. I know Melissa has talked about it as well. Right now at the vision, is that a benefit? Do we want to say for this portal?
Okay, so what I was just trying to portray to you there is that, because we've already seen the product vision, Erica showed us and Joanna showed us. So what I was trying to portray to you is that it's a team effort, right? You can see that even while they are coming up with it, everyone is collaborating together. They will say some things, but those stuff they are saying is just a requirement. It doesn't have to be part of the vision box, right? So, and you've seen the third method that they are trying to use to have like a vision box for the front end and the front part and the back part. The video is about 8 minutes long, so I didn't want to play everything. Okay, so those are the 3 methods, and that has been done justice to. So let me show you what a sample of like a vision, what Erica did, right? You know, she did it in Excel, but you can also use a template. So you can see that template. That's an example of a vision box template. So you can see Erica first put everything in Excel, but everything she has in Excel is everything is part of what needs to be in the vision board. So well done, ladies. Okay. So we're done with the vision, the product vision, and we understand what the vision for Flaky Music app is. Okay, so now we want to talk about the condition of satisfaction. So what's condition of satisfaction? So condition of satisfaction is to say, we're saying that at this point that what is the product level definition of done? So what is the success metric? How do we measure, right? So for Flaky, what are the ways we're going to be able to measure our goals? And in some of this metric, you also see it in the product vision as well, right? So we just want to talk about how we're going to measure success, right? So can anybody give us 2 ways in which you can measure success for Flaky Music app? We'll just do 2, okay? What I'm going to do, I'm going to click here. So when I click on initial planning, it creates another page for me. So that page is a child page under initial planning, right? Because everything we're doing is under initial planning. So I'll have it as condition of satisfaction. Okay, so I need 2. How are we going to measure this when we're done? Like, what is our success metric? Okay, Erica, I can see that. Number of new customers. That means for you to know that if you're having new customers, that means you need to do a baseline measurement, right? So that means you'll have done what we call baseline measurements. So what do I mean by that? That means at the moment, you will know the total number of customers that Flaky Music app currently have, right? So that when the new application is in place, you'll be able to measure if you are having new customers or there's an increase in the customer base, okay? One more. Increased ROI. So yes, you want to know if there is a increase in the return in the returns, right? So you want to be sure. Yeah, returning customers is another one, right? So you want to be sure. So for you to know if there's an increase in the ROI, that means you need to know the present ROI, right? You need to know the present ROI. So how much is Flaky currently making at the moment, right? So that when this app is in place, you want to know if we've actually increased our revenue. Okay, returning customers. So I want to know how many customers are returning, right? So presently, maybe most of the customers you have, they'll come, they'll buy the music application and they will go, right? So when you start doing the online one, you want to know how many customers is returning, you know, to get more, to subscribe to more music, to listen to more new music that is coming on board. Yes, you may want to segment your new customer into online and in-store. Yes, that's another one. So we'll leave it here, but I know that you understand what I mean by condition of satisfaction. At this point, you're looking at the definition of done at the project level, right? When this is done, how do we measure our success, right? How do we measure our success? Let me see if the video is a short video and we can watch it as well. But you get application to perform from emerging artists. Yeah. So at the end of the day, right, as the team, you guys will all come together to describe what your condition of satisfaction is, which is the definition of done at the eye level. Okay? So good job. So I'll play the video, but if it's too long, I'll cut it, okay?
Okay, so let's talk about conditions of satisfaction or project level definition of done. What does that mean? You guys came up with some awesome objectives for why this project is important, but we need to be able to measure these objectives. Just pointed at that real hard. We need to be able to measure these objectives in terms of how will we know that we've really succeeded. A lot of times we come up with these objectives and we have no idea at the end of the project, did we really succeed, did we not? Or many times we'll put those in the business case, but the team doesn't know about them, they don't plan for them, and we don't really make it real. So we don't actually measure ROI from our project. So that's this conversation. Examples of condition of satisfaction is, for example, if you want to increase customer satisfaction, you may want to take a survey before and after. If you want to increase processing, you may want to look at cycle time. So let's have you guys have a conversation about how will you measure success of these objectives.
Team, these are our objectives. These are our features for our new product, our new project. We have to come up with conditions of satisfaction. I know, Lisa, you said one of the most important feature was faster processing, to get that agent to have that ability to submit that claim.
Right.
What type of satisfaction, what type of measures would you like to see? And this is for everybody, it's not just for Lisa.
Sure, and I'm going to actually look to Michelle. What is our time right now for an agent to have to call in, and what's that processing time like?
Best case scenario, when we're on the phone with them, we can get all the information entered into the system in probably a 20-minute phone call. If we can reduce that down for the agents to actually just submit it to 5 minutes would be ideal.
Okay. So from 20 minutes to 5 minutes. Perfect.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
That's like cycle time. Very good.
Any other measures for this?
We do have our exceptions. So I don't know if we want to go into that detail, that, you know, that's probably a standard claim, but the more difficult exception claims, they take, gosh, how many times are you going back and forth on that information and trying to get those submitted?
Those can be days today, and
so we can see that everyone is collaborating. So it's not one person saying, oh, you do it. But you can see that the Scrum Master is facilitating, right? It's because the Scrum Master is involved, right? And I told you that even while you're doing this initial planning, sometimes you have other stakeholders. The sponsor too can come, because sometimes the sponsor too has an idea of what they want, right? So this is the initial planning stage, right? You see that the Scrum Master is involved, the product owner is involved, and everyone is collaborating, right? So it's not like you leave it out to one person to do it, right? So so everyone is collaborating and they are putting all those details together. Okay, Lauren.
Just a question, Florence, or a clarification. Does that mean that there are two definitions of done, one at the program level and one during sprint planning?
Yes. There are two definitions of done. So that one you said during sprint planning, right? You don't have to do it during sprint planning. So I know what you're talking about. You're talking about the sprint definition of done, right? Yeah. So that definition of done is for your sprint, when you want to start working, right? So that definition of done, things you have is for you to say this story is done, this story must be tested. It must have gone through QA. Or for you to say this story is done, it must have been checked by the product owner, like the user, to say user acceptance testing is done. Those are your definition of done, like on a story level, right?
Okay.
Yes. So those are your definition of done on the story level. And that is the definition of done that is in the Scrum guide. Okay. So this is that's the one in the Scrum guide. So now
it means there are two, right? One.
Yes. So that's why this I'm calling definition of done, but it's called condition of satisfaction. You get to some organization, they will call it the project value or the project benefits. Okay. Do you understand? Yeah. So why are we doing this product? Why are we even implementing this product, right? What's the benefit of implementing this product? So that is what they are discussing here. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Great. So now we have our condition of satisfaction. Erica, yes, I will send it. I will send it so that if you want to buy it, just Google Sally, right? Agile transformation. But I will send the link to the to our organization. She has an organization. So if you want to buy it so that you can pay for it, okay?
Thank you.
Yeah. So after we've finished the condition of satisfaction, the next thing you want to do is stakeholder analysis, right? For most people that have been in projects, you understand what stakeholder analysis is, right? Who has an idea of stakeholder analysis? What do you understand by stakeholder analysis? Or what do you do in stakeholder analysis? Okay, so stakeholder analysis is, RACI is more like, you can do that within your analysis too, to know who is responsible, who is accountable, who is consulted, and who is informed, right? Yes, you can do that in your analysis as well, right? Bab.
All right. So I think at stakeholder analysis, we're going to do what I call a deeper dive on exactly the very high level thing that we started with, right? Mm-hmm. Now, it's what I call peeling the onion further to basically understand the needs beyond just what we have at that high level, and what are those needs, and what will the solution that we are working on, what will it do for both the stakeholders, the internal stakeholders, and the external stakeholders? What would it matter to them? Why do we have to spend all this time and resources to get this done? Why is it important now? And those type of things.
Okay. Thank you, Babs. Erica, you were raising your hand. Do you still need your hands up, or you good?
Yeah, I was actually going to basically, the gentleman, he covered that, and then in the chat, Lorraine and I are on the same page as well.
Oh, okay. Understanding the need and requirement of the stakeholders. Message said that knowing stakeholder in terms of communication, preference, type of stakeholders, and behavior, you are all correct, right? So you want to be able to do all that, right? You want to know their communication, because in Agile is different, right? You're going to be having sprint reviews. You want to make sure that everyone is coming to the sprint review to say what you've done, right? You want to know if they don't even, some people might not want to come, might not want to come to the sprint review, right? So it might be that you're going to be sending updates or something to them. So you want to understand your stakeholder. You even want to be sure that you are capturing everyone, right? You are capturing everyone within the team. Okay. So for Flecky Music app, who are our internal stakeholders and who will be our external stakeholders? So just give 2-3 examples so that we can move on. Who is going to be the internal stakeholders for Flaky, and who are going to be the external stakeholders?
Internal users and maybe the business owner.
So when you say the business owner, you're saying the sponsor?
The sponsor, yes.
Okay, the business sponsor. Okay, who else?
Internal users as well, right?
So who are you thinking as internal users for Flaky?
The ones that take the calls from external customers.
Exactly. So you're talking about, let's say, service desk, right?
Yes, right.
Mm-hmm. So what are the other ones? Just think, right? Think wide. Not only you, sorry, I mean, I would like to hear more.
And then my external will, of course, be your customer using the product.
Okay, customers. Yeah, great. Thank you, Jill.
Developers.
Developers. Yes, the people that are going to be working on this application. They are stakeholders as well. And you need to what did you say?
QAs.
QAs. Okay. So for me, I can just say developers. If you say developers, you see that it can mean that people doing development. It can also mean, if you're talking in terms of Scrum, it can mean all the development team, right? So, but I know when you say developers, you're talking about the front end and the back end developers, right?
Okay. What about project manager?
It depends if you have a project manager, right? Because sometimes you might have a project manager, sometimes you might have a product manager. Okay? So in this scenario, I'll put a product manager. What else? Exactly.
Can you say the Scrum team is an internal stakeholder?
The Scrum team is an internal stakeholder, and that's what Vinita is saying, QA, developers, product manager, they are all the Scrum team. So if you don't want to write it in details like this, you can just say the Scrum team, right? So if you say that, we know who you're talking about, right?
Okay.
Okay, great. Erica, will third-party integrators because yes, payment gateways, right? Because when people buy the application, they will have to pay, right? Versus a product owner, do you have any suggestion to maximize engagement and contribution of the stakeholder? That's why Agile is very nice, because at the sprint review, you expect them to all come, right? And give their feedbacks, right? They look at your application, they give their feedback, but you notice that sometimes they don't come, right? And those ones that don't come, you try to have one-on-one with them. You try to know if they are comfortable, because some people just say, don't worry, continue. Anything you do is fine by me, right? So that's why we're talking about you want to understand your stakeholder, right? But before you can understand their preference, every stuff like that, you still need to analyze who your stakeholders are. You don't want to miss out anybody, right? So you need to be able to rule out your, document your stakeholders. Oluwatosin said regulatory bodies. Tosin, can you explain to me how regulatory bodies will be external, will be a stakeholder?
They are the ones that will control, maybe they follow the rules and regulations.
Yeah. So there are a lot of reasons why you need the regulatory bodies, right? For example, you're going to be collecting people's information, right? Their privacy, like their data, right? You know, you have to comply to privacy laws. People that you have to so for example, it depends. You're saying that you want your app to be global. If you are operating within the EU, you have to comply with GDPR. You understand? So you know regulatory bodies will be one of your stakeholders, and they are external to you. Yeah, GDPR. What else? What is service provider? What do you understand? What do you mean by service provider? You know, there are different kinds of service provider. I just want to get your opinion.
I was thinking the service provider for the internet that will be used.
Internet used by who? By the customers? We don't.
The organization, yes, something like that, yes. Like the cloud. Okay.
Cloud service provider, cloud storage. Makes sense to me now. Yeah. So because you need cloud storage, right? So you want to know, is it going to be Amazon that will provide this for me? Is it going to be Google? Is it going to be Microsoft Azure? Right? So those are very important. Delivery service providers. So you're still talking about the physical purchases, right? So if they are buying online and they want it to be delivered to them, okay? So you can consider that delivery service provider. How do you integrate with them? But these are all people you need to understand how they work and how you can, integrate that into your application to make everything seamless. Okay, so let's stop here. So this is just to help you understand your stakeholders. You know why we need to have this, right? When you are writing your stories, right, you can write it in different formats. You can write it from the user perspective, right? Someone asked, I don't know if it was yesterday or last week, that, are you writing this epic in form of is it the process, like the flow? Yes, you can write your epic in form of a process flow. You can write it in form of the user perspective, right? You can even write it in form of the UI. When you are pressing the button, like if I click on this button, where will it take me to? Then you can write your user story as that. So because when the stakeholders, it will help you to now understand that, okay, for regulatory bodies, what kind of stories do you need to document, right? Because you know that they have a role that you're going to play. So when you start analyzing this thing, it will help you to accommodate all the stories. So that you have your developers start thinking of the back end, the all those details, like, okay, we need to have security in place, we need to do this, we need to do that. So you are writing stories from their perspective as well. So that's why it's very important for you to consider your stakeholders, okay? Okay, so we've completed stakeholder analysis, right? And that will help you, right? Because it will help you determine all the stakeholders on your project, because it will also allow you to not miss out anybody, right? When you are writing all the stories, because you have to write the stories from the perspective of the different stakeholders, right? Okay, so the next one is personas. Okay, let me see. The stakeholders, I think that's it, but if you still want me to play a short video on that, maybe just for you to see how they are collaborating together. Why I'm showing you the video is for you to see how they are collaborating together, right? So that you don't feel that, oh, is it that I'm going to be the one to do this? Or is he who is going to do this, right? So the Scrum Master, you are facilitating, but it doesn't mean that the burden is on you, right? It's not on you. Your job is to facilitate, to get those details out, right? When it's the time for product owner to facilitate, you see that, okay, the product owner is the one doing it this, right? And everyone is contributing, right? So when they say, that's why the agile value say, we value those collaboration, right? We value that relationship, that interaction, right? So that's why I'm showing you the video, because we are not together, we are not doing that, right? So I'm showing you the video to show you that it's not one person, the team come together and they do that together. So this team, they are collocated together. So when the team is collocated, that's what Agile preaches, that the team should be collocated together, like in a war room. So when you hear things like war room, or when you get to an organization and they say, that's our war room, they're just saying that that's where we have all our refinement, our planning sessions. That's why they call it war room, right? But things have changed. So most of these things now, we have it online, right? So it's a new way of working and everybody's adjusting to it, okay? So I'm going to play the stakeholder. I think it's about 3 minutes, so we should be 4 minutes. Let's see if we can work this.
Okay, so next we're going to talk about a stakeholder diagram. What do we use a stakeholder context diagram for? A lot of times we go into projects and we forget people. We forget departments that matter. We forget internal people that we need to be influencing or getting on board or getting their feedback. We all of a sudden remember this external partner that we should have been talking to or thinking about how are we going to interface with. So a stakeholder diagram is a really cool tool, very visible, colorful, and you'll see Kelly's going to use our colors today in terms of who's impacted by this project. Who do we need to think of? So Kelly, walk us through this.
This is our project, Agility Insurance Company, Agent Portal, and Michelle said we're going to use purple to identify our internal customers and blue for our external. So who are our stakeholders? Who's going to be affected by the portal? Who will be using the portal?
Well, obviously our agents.
Yep. Agents. That's external?
Yes.
Okay.
Claims team. Both from an administrative, like management perspective. Yeah, the claims department.
IT, because of all the building and support of the new system.
Mm-hmm. There's some accounting information that we are going to need.
Accounting system or accounting department?
Accounting department.
Yeah.
They need some capabilities of the reporting.
And we're going to have to build integration with our trading partners, CMS, which is Centers for Medicaid Medicare Services.
External, right?
Yeah, external.
Okay, CMS. And they're providing, what did you say they're providing again?
They're going to tell us the eligibility status.
Eligibility status, Medicaid, Medicare, okay.
But wouldn't our customers be stakeholders too? I mean,
the members, are they using this?
Well, they'd be indirectly. I mean, They're obviously part of the claims themselves, but they're not going to be using this system quite yet.
Yeah, I think that's a future release.
Jessica, you make a good point. It's basically they would come through the agent. Right.
Okay. But not in this release. We don't have a vision that they would be using the system yet.
Maybe release 3 when we do have a member portal.
Okay.
You bet.
Do we also need to include our executive team in here as far as being able to see the status of all these claims as it goes through the process?
Yes. Okay.
How about the integration with our accounting system and Great Plains?
And would that fall more under IT, or do we want to include that as legacy systems?
So from a stakeholder diagram, I mean, when we talk about the accounting department and we do a use case diagram in terms of who are the various roles and how do we interact with them, we can bring up the actual systems that we integrate with.
So is Great Plains a system, the third-party vendor?
Great Plains will be the accounting package we're using.
Okay.
So maybe
is that
Yeah, that'll be part of the accounting department.
Great Plains?
And now, do we consider the customer support team part of the claims department, or do we treat them separately?
Right now, they're part of us, but I think the vision, as we've heard, we want to get that into that area. So we probably want to make sure we have them on the radar.
Yeah, let's do a separate bubble. Yeah.
Yep. That looks like everybody.
Who else? Who else will be using our system, be affected by our system?
That seems like everybody. Can we add to it if we think of more?
You bet. Again, we'll post this in our collaboration room, so we never want to lose track of who is our stakeholders. When we have our sprint reviews, we'll make sure we invite certain people when we're showing certain stories, the working software, as well as when we're the BA. Some are when you're getting requirements for certain stories, we know who to at least contact, what department. And we'll go into more detail on who claims is, who's our agents, so we can get some really good details on our requirements. Good job, team. Thank you. Great.
Okay, so I hope that is clear, right? Any question regarding the stakeholder analysis? Let me see the comment. Another stakeholder at the music. Exactly. The musicians, the young emerging artists. Very true. Thank you, Mo. We even missed that. That's a anyway, maybe we classify them as customers, but we have 2 different kind of customers. So great that you noted that. Yeah, good job. So we finished stakeholder analysis, right? So you heard what the Scrum Master said, right? She was saying that, okay, as the BA, the product owner, when you're writing your requirement, you have to think of all the stakeholders because you have to write it from their perspective. So you're not missing anything out. Even when the product is the increment is coming on, you have the working software, you have to invite these people. So you don't leave them out, right? And you can see, what she said, that we're going to leave it in our collaboration room. So that collaboration room is where everybody keeps seeing the details. They have it. They also call it war room. You get to some organization, they call it war room, right? So when you start hearing things like that, you should understand that they're just talking about their room where they have their meetings, their planning session, their refinement session, and all that. So it's not going to be like an alien world to you, right? So, and one thing you can say is that the Scrum Master was facilitating. It doesn't mean that the Scrum Master is the one listing everything, right? And you don't have to be, because you say I'm a BA, I'm not the product owner, then you keep quiet. No. You are all interacting, right? That is one of the values, and you have to uphold that value. So if you want to tell me you're agile, you must be upholding those values. Okay? I hope that is clear. Any question? Okay. So we go to the personas, right? We also discussed this the last time, right? We said that personas also help us with stories, right? I think we went a bit into this to talk about the fact that this will help you, like you're just using someone to represent a group of people, right? A group of people to understand their pain points, right? To understand what they will need. It will also help you to write your user stories. That's why we're doing it, right? So it's one of the product strategy you can use, right? We can use competitive analysis. You can use different ones in your goals, right? So we're saying that a lot of people use personnel in conjunction with other product strategy to come up with their, to help them come up with their features for their products. Who worked on the personnel? Did anyone work on personnel? Do we have one example at least? Okay, Erica, let's see your persona. You want to share?
Yeah, one moment, thanks.
Huh?
Okay, so, well, and then I have a write-up in Word, but basically, as far as the demographics, 1835, male, post-secondary undergrad, income between 55 to 85, and then status single, and then the occupation. I was thinking more from the fact that we're attracting emerging artists and the portal will be of interest. Chances are they're going to be in the entertainment industry or something media related or IT.
Okay, so who are you using here? You know you said eye level, right? So you did not use anyone in specific, right? So mostly
I do have a person, and his name's Josh. He's in the Word document that I'm trying to find right now, but I do have a little write-up
about it. Okay. Yeah. Okay, no problem. Thank you very much. Look for it. If you see it, then let me know. Then you can share. Okay. Well done. Great job. Okay.
Can I share?
Mercy? Yes, you can share, please.
Okay. Can you see my screen now?
Yes, you can see your screen. Well done.
This is my persona. He's Bob. 31. He's a photographer and an emerging artist. He's single. Location Vancouver. So I gave a brief about Bob. He has always interest in the arts from a young age. While he aspired to be a musical artist, he found himself drawn to the world of photography after high school. Photography came as a hobby, and that was supposed to be And in the midst of livelihood, in the midst of his very busy schedule, Bob still finds time to compose and write songs, which he occasionally performs at bars and events. So his specialty, he's a deep thinker, he's intuitive, he's an extrovert and highly tech savvy. So this is his goal, to promote his personal brand and genre of music across the shores of Canada to reach as many people as possible. And he also is a renowned artist of his time. So his challenges now are the high cost of brand promotion, not being able to fully break into the music industry and collaborate with well-known artists and music producers. He's
Hello? Can you still hear Messi?
No, nothing.
Okay.
Wow, she did amazing.
Yeah, she did amazing, but we can't hear her anymore. Messi?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Oh, you didn't hear me. I was just giving a brief of what I did.
No, you were at the goals when we couldn't hear you anymore.
Oh, okay. So I just explained his goals, then his challenges are the high cost of brand promotion, not being able to fully break into the music industry and collaborate with well-known artists and music producers. Then what are his motivators, and the prize, his ability, that it should be easy to use, uniqueness, customizability, then self-actualization. Those are his motivators.
Nice. Good job. This is beautiful. Well done. So now I understand that Bob is an emerging artist, and Bob will need this Flaky platform, right? I understand that because I know that his challenges are high cost, right, from the brand promotion people. And if I can give that platform and just get royalties, and it's fine by that, right? So that's a very good job, Messi. Well done.
Thank you.
Yeah. Erica, do you have a question?
No, I'm just blown away, like what she did. It's beautiful. It's really beautiful.
It's beautiful. And she used PowerPoint. So that's what I was trying to say, that you don't have to be like an expert in tools, right? You can still, make it happen, right? So well done, well done. I have one here. Let me see if I can find it. Let me share my screen. So I have one here on Figma. Okay. So just to show you that you can use tools as well, right? This is a Figma tool that you can use as well, right? So, but Messi has really blown us away to tell us that we don't even have to use a tool, right? Because she did a very good job by designing our, what's it called? The PowerPoint, right? To show us that, okay, you can still achieve this, right? It's just about the mindset to get it done, right? Well done. You guys have been amazing. Okay. Figma is loading. Let's see. So why all these tools are good sometimes is that they have their templates already, right? So you can use that template that they have, right? This is loading very slowly. If we're going to the, I've done it a while back. Okay, I think I have one old one here. It's fine, let's use this one. Okay, so this is an example. You can see that this one I did it from the template. There's already templates, right? So you can just pick the template and use it. And let me make it bigger.
Oh, you sound a bit muffled, Florence.
Oh, really?
Now you're fine. Yeah, thanks.
Okay, now I'm fine. Okay. So I'm trying to show you an example of a personnel, right? So, and I was saying that you don't even have to use a tool, but this I used it because there are already templates you can use in Figma, right? So now I told you Figma is one of the tools that they use for UX, UI designs, right? So you can use this template to do your Figma, right? So we use Paula as an example. Paula is a sales manager, works in Toronto, Canada. She's 21, single. She's a tech savvy. She's into internet, social media, online shopping. Sorry, I'm trying to emotion. Online shopping. Paula is a single young lady. She's a recent graduate and part of the millennials. With a busy work weekday, the time she really gets together with her family and friends is over the weekend. She loves music. Most times she likes to listen to it on the go. Her friends love music and would love to share her favorite music, albums, and new jamming songs with her family and friends. What are her needs? She wants to buy and share music on the go with friends and family and friends. She wants to listen to the latest music in town, right? She wants a system that is intuitive and easy to use. What is her pain point? Paula needs to find a flexible solution that can help her optimize her time by having a platform where she can listen to her music and share with friends, right? It is very important for her to share music with her family and friends using an intuitive path. So she's part of the millennial. She wants something easy to use. So this is what this is telling me, that she wants a platform that is easy to use, that is flexible, right? So when you're designing, you should be thinking, putting that in mind, designing a platform that is flexible. So when you say a platform is flexible, are you thinking in terms of mobile? Are you going to be a web application first? Like, what are you thinking, right? So that's what the personnel help you to do, right? He gives you that clarity to know that these are what we should be thinking about when we are trying to build this app. Okay, so that is all about personas, right? Any questions regarding personas? Erica, are your hands up or those are from before?
Old hand.
Okay. So we're done with personas. So that's what it helps you to do, right? The way we have those stakeholder analysis, that's one of the ways we have our personas. It helps us with our story breakdown, right? So we're gonna watch a video on the personas. After that, we are now going to go into breaking down our features, because what we want to do today is we want to break down this. We want to look at our features and break it down. And we're going to do that in Moral. And I want as many of you that can participate, let's get down and do that so we can do our estimation, learn about estimating in Agile, and, you know, work on our velocity, cadence, and determine what our MVP is. Okay? So let me see if we can watch the video on personnel, if it's not too long. But that is all to it, right? So it's just giving you that perspective, right? So let me see. Okay, I might not be able to play everything. I think it's about 6 minutes. But just to give you an idea of, you know, how it's happening in terms of the team coming together to do it, right? It's not just one person, right? I know that every one of us went home, we did this, we did that so that you can make it faster, right? And so that it can give you that perspective that you understand it, because as you're doing it, you're going to be thinking, you're going to be making research. And that's why that homework was given.
Okay, we're ready to roll again. So let's talk about sample personas. So a persona is basically almost like an avatar for a real user, right? We use personas to understand the users of our system much better. A lot of times people just brainstorm roles like what we just did. We looked at stakeholders, which identified who's going to be using the system, and they stop at that point. But a lot of people consider this part optional. I will tell you though, it doesn't take that long to do them, and you will see a lot of quality in terms of the usability of your system when you can actually go through personas. So the parts to a persona is they have to have a name. You go through characteristics of a persona. You talk about what their goals are. What is the key things that they're trying to get from the system? What do they absolutely like when they're interacting with the system, and what do they absolutely hate or dislike? So, Jess, because you're a usability expert and you do a lot with the front end, go ahead and sort of facilitate this part of the conversation.
Sure. So this really helps us talk about our requirements. We've already talked about vision. Now we're getting down to actually what do the individuals who use the system, how are they going to interact with it, how can we make it better for them as individuals. So that's why it's helpful to come up with kind of personas, these avatars that she talked about. So the first thing we need is a name. Somebody give me a name for this first one. Alice. Alice the agent. All right. So there's a couple of things that we want to talk about regarding Alice and find out about her to help us with the interface and figuring out the process flow. So, you know, characteristics, her goals, why she's there, what she's trying to accomplish, what we want to avoid making them do, things like that. So characteristics. What are characteristics that we find are common about our agents? You know, do we find, for instance, that
they're very busy.
Okay, very busy.
They don't like confusing technology. So something that supports their daily.
Down under dislike. Sorry.
Yeah.
On dislikes? New technology or changes?
Well, they like technology, but it needs to support their process. They don't want it to drive the process.
Right. Exactly.
So technology.
Useful technology. Where did you say that technology? It was
they want it to support their process, not drive their
technology
process.
That supports process.
Right. They don't want to just do something to do something.
Right.
It needs to have a purpose.
And it needs to not be too complex.
Mm-hmm.
So technology that supports them.
Yes.
What they're doing. I think another characteristic, most of our agents that we've worked with, they've been in the business for a number of years. They're not new to the industry.
Right.
So they have a lot of business knowledge and
very much so.
So they're knowledgeable on the business.
Jess, while you're doing this, can I ask you for a huge favor?
Yeah.
Where you have persona and you wrote Alice, under her name, could you write down that she's an agent? I think because we have a lot of different personas, so I just want to make sure to know what that role
is. The agent.
Some other characteristics, they travel a lot.
Yep. Okay.
So they're on the go.
They're on the go.
They're on the go.
I think one of their goals is to get the claims entered in the system as quickly as possible. They don't want to waste time entering claims. They want to go out and meet with their customers and sell more policies.
So enter claims quickly.
Enter claims quickly.
They definitely don't want to be on the phone with us all day long.
Right, so that
would be a dislike? Yeah, they dislike talking to claims staff on the phone.
I love that. It's like calling customer service or calling claims.
Yeah.
Yes.
They dislike it when our caller ID shows up on their cell phone.
Yeah, they like their self-service to be able to just handle that claim and get back to their customer.
Is that one of their goals?
Okay, so what I do there is just to understand that they do this collaboratively, right? They are collaborating together to get that done, right? So it doesn't, so, like the way Messi has gone to, finish everything. Yes, in some time, in some team, you have to go and first finish it, then you bring it, then as you now present to the team, then the team will start adding more. Or they'll say, no, but did you think about this? Did you think about this? Right? So depending on the organization you work for, right? Sometimes you might have the UX UI designer, they will try and put it together, or you have a team, a designer. Might have more than 2 designers on the team, or the designer, the BA, and the product owner, they will first put it together, then everybody come on board and review it together, right? So it depends on the kind of organization you work for, but most of the time, you're going to review it as a team. You're going to discuss it as a team, and you don't have one persona. Like you can see Messi wrote from the angle of the young emerging artist. The one I showed you, it was more on from the a user, someone like customer that is doing subscription, right? So it depends for different users. Okay, so now that ends with persona. So next thing we want to do is we want to go into brainstorming and documenting features breakdown epic, right? So that's what we want to do next, right? And so for this, I said that we can write from a user perspective. We can write it from a process perspective, right? We can write it from a UI perspective. So what do I mean by UI? Those UI process in terms of how the flow of your design. Home page, from the home page, if I want to browse through music, I can browse, or no, if I want to buy the music, I have to log in. Like that's a UI flow, right? You can also write it from that. Okay, so next thing we want to do is to break down our features. So we're going to be using, let's use the personnel that Messi did, and we're now going to use that, the process of that personnel to break down our story. So I'm going to go to Mural so that we can collaborate, okay? So let me create an epic. Okay, so I need to archive one of my stories. Archive, because if not, I have to pay to be able to get more. Okay, so I'm gonna do another blank canvas. You can always look for different canvas you can use, right? There are lots of canvas that you can use. This is like I think this is a user story. Let's see this one. Okay, this one is just like the personal one if you want to use it. Okay, so I'm going to create a new one so that we can use that to collaborate. And I'm going to create a blank canvas. And you know that when you create a blank canvas, you can always put lines or anything you want. So I'm looking for a frame. I want to do this. Okay, so I will call this, let's call this story. So we're going to use Messi. What was the name of your persona?
Bob.
Okay, we're going to have Bob here. Okay, so now let's start breaking down what Bob will need, right? In terms of the epics, right? So we're using our persona Bob, and we know that Bob is an emerging artist. So what will Bob like to see, right? What are the things Bob would like to do? Imagine Bob as the persona, then not follow through on the process. So what would Bob like to see, right? So I'm waiting. Start telling me what the epic should look like. Okay? So think about the process of Bob. So if Bob is going to do, so Bob, Messi said that Bob is a young emerging artist. He likes to write songs. He's very intuitive, but he doesn't have a brand to promote him. So obviously Bob wants to come to our site, right? To give, to put his song on the Flaky Music app, right? So that others can listen to his song, so that they can also subscribe to it, so that you can start getting money from it. Okay, so if Bob comes to this site, what will Bob want to first see on Flaky? What do you think Bob will want to do first? Okay, so I'm going to send you this on the chat, and you can join me so that we put this together. 1 second, let me look for the chat. Okay, I just sent you the link. So we have upload the song to the website, right? So when you say upload, that means let's first 1 second. Okay, so I see upload a song to the website. Bob should be able to stream music online through. He should also be able to create an account. So let's first start his profile picture. Okay, so let's look at what the epic should be. I'm gonna put, you know how to get the stickers? You come here at the top here, the second stuff, you get the stickers. So for the epic, I will make them at the top. So let's make it green or blue. Okay, let's have the epic here. So epic are just the bigger picture, right? So someone said it should have an account. So we can have an epic called register, right? Because you're talking about creating an account, you're talking about it should register, right? So that should be an epic. You can have another epic. Now, if hold on, let's create the epic so that it's clear. Hold on, okay? So but everyone just writes, then we can put them in where it should be. Get the sticker notes and, put something on it, okay? Nobody should go to the first line. I'll create the epics. Then all your stories, if we see that is an epic, we'll add it as an epic. Just keep writing, get a sticker note, and keep updating what should be there. So we have one register. So that register is based on someone mentioned that we should be able to create an account. You should have a profile picture. Someone said you should be able to stream music, right? So for him to be able to stream music, that means he should be able to browse the music, right? Before you can stream, you want to be able to browse. So we can have another epic called browse. Another person mentioned you should be able to upload his song to the website. Okay. So that's another epic as well on Zoom. Okay. So you should be able to upload, right? So for him to be able to upload, let's see, is that going to be an epic? Let's first have it here as upload. We'll decide. I can see share music. So I think we should have an epic for playlists, right? So playlists for so if you have an epic for playlists, you can create playlists, you can upload your playlist, right? You can share your playlist. I can see payments, make payments. So that means we should have an epic called payments. So I'm going to move this payments up here, right? And call it make payments is a story, but I'm going to put payments here, right? No, it's fine as the epic, so I will move it up here. So make payments, right? Okay. I can see login. Browse playlist, right? Do you think we should consider the platform, right? Because is the person going to be uploading on mobile or uploading on web, right? So we can talk about platform compliance. What else should we be looking at? Right? So let's give some time. I'm going to give 2 minutes. So in 2 minutes, we'll now start working on this. So 2 minutes for people to start to write more details, okay? Okay, we have 2 minutes. Okay, I know we are still learning, so I'm seeing a lot of, stuff on the board, so I'm just going to be cleaning up. Okay. Yes, I can see that thumbs up. That thumbs up is very good. You're telling me that able to share his music. We are agreeing with that story, okay? Okay. Okay, we have 27 minutes more. Twelve more minutes, 12 more seconds, I mean. Okay, great job, everyone. Normally, when you're in your organization, you have plenty time because you have to discuss it. Everybody, there will be arguments, you will review and all that, right? But because of our time, we'll just continue, okay? So let's now look at some of the things we have already and see what epic they belong to. Okay, can we all stop so that I can manage the board because of the people that are going to watch the video after, okay? If I need you, I'll call you again. Okay, thank you, everyone. So now we have our, okay, thank you. So we have our epic now. We have register, browse, playlist, make payment, platform compliance. We'll not look at other things here and see where they fit under the epic or if they need to be another epic. Okay. So let's start now. So I'm going to be doing that. If you think is not supposed to be there, then we'll discuss it. Okay. So the first one here is subscribe, right? So where do you think subscribe will be, right? So I think okay, I want this to be collaborative. So if you have an answer, just stop. Where do you think subscribe will be under this epic?
Under payments.
Under payments. But payment is when they are making payment, right?
Okay.
So that means you should have, for you to subscribe, you have to make payment first, right? So do you think we should have subscribe under payments or we should have it on its own?
Under register.
It should be under register.
Yeah, under register.
No, immediately after register.
Yes, but I think we should be able to browse before we register, right? I want to browse your site. If I'm now okay, I can decide I want to subscribe, right? right?
No, you should register before you subscribe.
Okay, so for me to be able to register, that means I need to create an account.
Yes, great.
Okay.
Well, it depends on what you are trying to do, right? If you are known, say you were going to subscribe to Spotify, everybody knows Spotify, you can do that. But if you are just an unknown, they're just an unknown entity on the internet, you don't want to make the barrier to entry high. If you do that, you're going to throw off a lot of people. So that's really what happens.
Okay, so this subscription you're talking about, but for you to be able to listen to the music, I want you to pay. Okay, let's say maybe you can subscribe freely to 3 music, right? Because I want you to pay, right? It's not going to be free, right? I can give you access to 3, then after 3, you can't listen to music again, right? Because I'm going to be paying you royalties to these people, right?
Florence, usually the way they do this is give you like a sample bite of whatever music you want to download. They'll give you a gazillion number of music playlist, and then you can listen to the first few seconds of any music, and usually that's how they work this, I believe.
Okay, so that free music you're talking about is like, so that they'll give you opportunity to subscribe, but just to 3 musics.
No. You're going to be able to browse any music. And in the browsing, you can listen to the first 10 seconds of like a soundbite of the music you want to. They have to give you the ability to have access to gazillion number of their music. To listen to it for the first 10 seconds. Thereabout, before you can even thinking of subscribing.
Okay, so that means for me to do that, I need to know what the title track is.
Exactly. There you go. Yeah, there you have title tracks.
I need to know what the album is.
That's like to be able to post like a trial song or something like that. That's like to have a trial of the app.
So now, we are missing out something. We are looking at
you can use it as you can use it as a first of all, you can use it as a bait to get them to provide their email address, so you can follow up in case they kind of drop out and they don't subscribe, right? And do what we call a follow up kind of relationship building, right? Because what got them the first way, you don't want to just walk into your space and they just walk away and you have no idea who came to your house, right? So the way to do it is to first of all allow them to have experience it. But in order for them to experience it, they probably can provide their email address. Then you can follow up in case they drop off.
Okay, so they can browse, right? Title track, album, right? But you said that before they can do all that, you want them to be able to provide their email.
Yeah, because you are giving them something. It's like a gift, like a kind of a bribe, like an official bribery, right? Unofficial, like that, right? You are bribing them with something nice. It's just a bit of a teaser. Enjoy this teaser. If you really like it, then subscribe. If they don't subscribe, you can go behind the scene later and build what we call a follow-up series to create that relationship with them. And you can use that email to also follow them all over the internet and advertise to them.
Okay. So what you're saying is that, because now what I noticed we're doing is that we are combining all the methods, right? Now, because what you said that if they go to the browsing page, the first thing you want them to see is for them to register with their email. Not like register, but they need to provide their email.
Correct. And a lot of people will not provide because this is the age where everybody knows that emails are really the asset, right? So how do you encourage them? Yes, how do you encourage them to take that leap and trust your site enough, right? And one of the things you want to do is to say, hey, by the way, you can listen to 3-4 music for free, right?
Exactly.
And, in order to do that, just give us your email address. They are happy to do that because the value of what is being provided is bigger than the pain point of them providing the email to you.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yeah. Free. So you're talking about giving access to free music. we know what is happening right now. We are not doing it from Bob's perspective, but I just want us to continue. Is the concept I want to explain, right? Because for Bob wants to upload his music, right? But right now we're just looking at what the user we want, right? So we're not doing it from Bob's perspective, because I think that we are flowing with from a user perspective, someone that is a music enthusiast, someone that likes music. So we'll just follow through from that. So browse. So in terms of register, what are the things we want to think about, right? What are the things we should be focusing on?
Login.
We should focus on login. So we already have login here. So I'll move it here. So you want them to be able to log in, right? But before they can log in, that means they are going to have a sign up, right? Sign up.
Create an account.
Which is create an account, right? Some people call it sign up, some people call it create an account, right? So for them to register, so you want them to be able to create an account. If you have an account already, then you will log in, right? So if you are a new person, right? I've never used this site before, I will need to create an account. But if I've used this already, I should be able to log in, right? So what else should be under playlist? So we have share playlists here. What else should we have under playlist? I'm just trying to look at what we have here. Okay, we have create playlist. You should be able to create our playlist. Able to share is music. Share is music. So share music, is it not the same thing as share playlist? Should we say it's the same?
Yeah.
We can
say that.
A playlist of his own music.
The what?
A playlist of his own music could still go under playlist.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you're saying that, okay, this share playlist, what do you think this is about? This share playlist? I'm
thinking like whether it's his own playlist or like a playlist of his own music or a custom playlist that he's created of different artists.
Yes.
Or it could also be a playlist that based on certain algorithms, the website has created a playlist that that the site thinks he would like, and then he can share those with friends and whoever. Okay, you can share that with friends and family. Okay, so it's different from someone that is uploading, right? So the emerging artist is someone that already has a music that wants to upload so that everyone can buy, right? So because we're already doing it from customer perspective, I'm following that route, right? So if we're thinking of from Bob's perspective, we'll be talking about upload playlist, right? Upload his own playlist to the site, right? So that's what we'll be talking about. So I'm just trying to tell you that that's how the personnel will help you to think differently, right?
7:30.
Okay, so let's continue. We also have here search with keywords. So on the search with keywords should be under browse, right? Because I feel that when you're browsing, you want to be able to search with keywords, right? So that you can say, okay, I'm looking for Celine Dion music, something like that, right? Or I'm looking for R&B music, right? We also have make online payment, right? So that make online payment should be under payment epic, right? So when you say online payment, I feel online payments is also a big deal, right? So if I want to break this down into stories, because online payments is big, right? So I can say, let's say debit payments, right? You want to be able to make payment through debit card, right?
A debit or credit.
So, sorry, should we have the add to cart before that?
Do you what?
I have the add to cart. Add to cart before making payment.
Okay. So add to cart will be where? Where will be add to cart?
Payment. Order make payment.
So before you can pay, right? You need to add to cart. Something like add to cart.
But why do you need the add to cart though?
Okay,
in this context, is it necessary?
Yeah, to really, because we have a list of music, so you want to specify the one you want to buy. So
is it not a subscription?
Okay, we can have another epic. I like the argument you're having, because that's the kind of argument you actually not argument, like discussion you'll be having, right? So because of what they said, that it isn't necessary for us to have the add to cart under payment. So I was thinking we should have something we call purchase.
Yes. Okay.
Purchase
so
option.
Purchase
option, yeah.
Yeah. So under purchase, you can add to cart, right? You should also be able to delete from the cart. Yeah, I'll get that. Delete from the carts, right?
Yes.
Because I can pick more than 4 this thing, but I want to delete as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
I want to be able to select. What did you say that time? You said something about someone said something just now. I forgot some.
Make changes.
Checkouts, yeah. Checkout, right? So let's just have that 3 and go on. So under payment, we said we can use debit card, right? We can use credit card.
What use PayPal? PayPal.
We use PayPal.
Someone has Bitcoin, e-wallet, EFT payments.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of options.
That's a lot of opportunity here.
Yeah.
E-wallets, ETF, even the payments I don't know. ETF payments. Okay. Oh, we even had PayPal. So I'll just delete the PayPals. We have Interact. Oh gosh, our payments method is the best. We have a lot of Epic. Okay. So on that playlist, we said share playlist, create playlist. You know, you can also delete playlists, right? Delete playlists. What else should we have?
Another playlist, I think we can put post trial songs like this from Bob's perspective. Like maybe to be able to post a song he's working on just to get people's opinion.
Okay. Post trial, because we've combined everything now, right? Post trial music. Okay. Yeah. What else?
Florence, I have a quick question.
Mm-hmm.
Are we doing this for a guy that has a music that wants to sell on our platform, or this is for a guy that wants to subscribe to music from this platform?
Subscribe to music, because we wanted to do for someone that imagine artist, someone that wants to upload, but when we started, it changed, right? So we're doing for the customer, because we're flowing faster and better. So I just said, okay, let's continue with that.
Okay. Yeah. Just wanted to be clear. Thank you.
Yeah. So we're doing from the customer for someone like me and you subscribing to that site. What are the things you think we should have on that product? What would you like to see? Now you want to subscribe. What would you like to see? So just you look at yourself as a youth, right? That want to subscribe to this Flaky Music app, and how you want to share with your family and friends. What are the things you would like to see, right? So we talk about create playlist, share playlist, post trial. There's also something, refer a friend. What do you think that should be?
Actually, with that one, I've been thinking about that. Can we have like to take a step back? Is there an option to register as an affiliate? And then when you register as an affiliate and you refer friends, maybe you're getting
points?
Yeah, points or even payment, like depending on how many people you're referring.
Okay. So
you can create another one, call it loyalty list or something, like loyalty program.
Okay.
Yeah, or affiliate program, like affiliate marketing. And then the loyalty and the gift cards and all that could probably fall under it.
Okay. Affiliate program, is that what you called it? Okay. So refer a friend. So we can have what? Loyalty cards. You can have coupons. You can have gift cards.
Points. There you go. Yeah, point.
Cards under affiliate or payment?
Or what?
Would we put gift cards under affiliate or payment?
So what do you think?
Like, let's say you get a gift card for Christmas or your birthday, and you want to purchase music on the site, you could use that as a form of payment, right?
Yes. So we can have gift cards to under payments, right?
Yeah. Is it possible to have it in both places?
You can have it in one place and just have like a UI where you can make it in such a way that if you have gift card, you can use it for payments. So what that means is that it will also be like a story under payment, but it will be in such a way that your gift card, as you're accumulating gift card, you can use it for payments.
Okay.
So it depends on how the application is going to be structured, right? So those are the things you're going to be discussing with the team. The technical team, all of you are discussing together to find out what is workable, right? What can we do? What works, right? So they might say, oh, let's put gift card under payments, and let's say points. So as the points accumulate to a certain point, you'll be given a gift card, and you can use that gift card to pay, something like that. So as you guys are discussing, you'll be determining what works, right? So under this playlist, you can also have something we called edit playlist, right? You can edit your playlist. Okay. What else can we have? Let's say,
can we have commercial free or, you know what I was thinking? Can we have something, when you go on Spotify, for example, you have like the free plan, but then you can have an individual plan. Let's say it's a student plan and a family plan. I haven't seen anything with plan options on our website yet.
Okay, so you're saying that we should have
so that means I'm subscribe.
Oh, you create a pick list. That's what we call it in our world. Right?
Oh, okay.
Or record type.
Record type.
Yeah.
Nice. That's Kenki. That's too technical for this platform. That's for back-end work.
Back-end stories. We didn't even talk about platform, right? So let's talk about platform. Let's have some stories here. So let's say we want it to be mobile compliance.
Yes, mobile customization.
Right. Mobile customization. Okay. What else? So let's say, but when we say mobile customization, do we do iOS?
And that's not even going, because if you're going to iOS and all that, you are talking about it's a website is different from a web app, right?
Yes.
So the question is, what are we building? Are we building an app, or are we building? There are three things actually. Are we building a website? Are we building a web app? Or are we building an app? Which one are we doing?
So we want to build a website.
Okay.
We want to also have opportunity to build a web app.
Okay. Now
and we want it to be mobile compliant.
So website and web app can pretty much go close to each other. Now, if you're building an app, now that's a different design level, right? Like iOS, like you talked about, like using the Android model and all that stuff, right? That's a different thing. You can now synchronize all of them to have this similar look and feel, whether you're on mobility or you're on the desktop, right? So I don't want to get a bit technical with some of them, but that's
we don't want to get technical.
but the idea is that are we building an app as one of the end goal? Or are we also going to have a website that is a web app? Basically, a web app is different from a website, and it's also different from what we call a funnel or a microsite, which might just be very, very lightweight, right? So it depends on what the end goal is.
So let's focus on building a web app first.
Okay.
So we'll focus on building a web app. So let's just imagine that we have all our stories because of our time, right? So let's imagine that this is all our stories, right? Rate is experience is here, but maybe we can have rate experience I'm just going to put it somewhere, right? Just for, okay. I'm going to delete some of these things so that we can have a clear board and move forward, okay? So imagine we have the whole story now. We have all the stories that we wanted to work on. It's not like it's complete. Just imagine that everybody has been doing brainstorming. Let's say we have everything we think we should have on this app, right? Remember, it is an ongoing process. It's not a final process. But imagine that we have everything we need now. So these are all our stories. So what you want to do now as a team is that you want to estimate this story, right? You have all this epic and you have this stories. Now you want to estimate this story, that how long will it take, right? Now what you are doing is called high-level estimation, right? So you are estimating for your initial backlog, right? But as you go along, as the sprint starts, you are still going to be estimating by sprint. But right now, what you want to do is you want to estimate all your story, right? Now, there are two types. The most common estimation that we use is what we call the Fibonacci series, right? So for the Fibonacci series, I'm going to share my screen. 1 second. So we'll stop at the estimation, and tomorrow we'll all estimate together. That's what we're going to start with tomorrow, estimating everything together. So I'm going to just go into estimation, explaining estimation. Then tomorrow we'll now estimate our stories together. Then when we estimate our story card, I'll now show you how we put them on Jira, how we do the breakdown, okay? Okay, so can you see my screen?
Yes, yes.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me talk about estimation, right? So what estimation is about, when we do agile and we do normal waterfall, right? We have the way we do estimation in the traditional way, right? In that traditional way, this is the way we do estimation, right? This is what we do, right? So we can use all this method to do estimation in the traditional project management, like we call them expert judgment. Expert judgment is just saying like, let's say, Bab, you've done something before, right? You've done this project before. You did migration from SP to Windows 7. Now you want to migrate from Windows 7 to Windows 10. Now you can use your judgment, right, to say, okay, when we did Windows 7, for us to get all this laptop, it cost us so amount. Okay, I think approximately it should cost us about this. You are using expert judgment, right? Because you've done it before, you have an idea, you've done it time and time over and over, right? So that's ways we used to do estimation. Could you try again? That's the way we do estimation. You can also do a 3-point estimate. A 3-point estimate is you take the pessimistic point, the optimistic point, and what it should be, right? Then you divide it, right? So that's a 3-point estimate. We also do something we call bottom up. Bottom up is like you go into the details of what you want to do, right? You write what it will cost you. So let's estimate by time. You can say, let's say we want to build a house. I'm just giving an example. We want to build a house. For us to do the foundation, it will take us 3 days. For us to put the first floor, it will take us 5 days. For us to do the second floor, another 5 days. For us to do the ceiling, 3 days. For us to do the painting, 1 day. By the time you now add everything together, you can now say, oh, it's going to take us 15 days. You are doing bottom up, right? So these are the normal ways we do estimation. But Agile is now saying that this method does not work for us, right? That it doesn't work for us. We don't do our estimation that way. right? Because it is difficult to predict what exactly will be delivered, right? When it's not that we have psychic powers. That the way we want to estimate is we want to estimate because there's no point estimating that way we are estimating in the traditional waterfall, right? Because you have a fixed date, you have a fixed budget. In Agile, we are always planning. We are flexible. We are always planning. So we avoid to do that detailed estimate upfront. Let's just estimate, right? In terms of the effort it will take us, right? Let's say that for us to do a create playlist, is it the same effort it will take us to do the to create an order, right? What are the things we should consider? Right? So you're just doing that to estimate. It doesn't mean that, so that estimation is just for you to give you an idea, right? So you're estimating based on effort, the complexity of what you are trying to do. So that's what Agile is saying, right? So we are just going to provide a range. And why are we doing that? We want to be able to derive our velocity. We want to be able to measure how we are working, but just give an idea. But it doesn't mean that will be the approximate time for the work to be done, okay? So this is what we do in Agile. We call it relative estimation, right? Which is different from absolute estimation, right? So in normal project management, right, you do a lot of absolute estimation, even though you still put contingencies and all that. But in Agile, they call it relative estimation, right? Look at those animals there, right? Focus on their size, right? And how complex they are. You can see there is a small animal, right? You are comparing this animal to this large animal. Is this a dog or a lion? Or they are all dogs, right? You are now comparing. So look at the small one and say, oh, based on, if I compare this small one to the big one, it will take me, so I can say the smaller one is small. Then this dog is big, right? So this story is a larger story, right? So it will take me longer time to finish this story, right? But the smaller one is small. So you see that you are relating it. You are not just saying, oh, this one, I'm going to finish it on time. You are relating it to the other stories to say, okay, which one is the bigger story? Which one will take me more time, right? Which one is more complex, right? So that's what you're doing. You are doing a relative estimate, right? So, you know, things are going to change. Agile understand that. But they're telling you that, can you just estimate, right? So imagine if they give you grape and they give you watermelon, right? And they tell you that, which one will you, so look, imagine a watermelon, a big watermelon that you buy at the market. Then imagine an apple, a small apple. And they tell you that which one will you finish eating first on time? Obviously, you say you're going to finish the apple first before you finish the watermelon, because you are looking at the effort it will take you to finish it. You are looking at the complexity. So you are saying that apple, obviously, when I get an apple, one apple, I'm going to just wash the apple. When I wash the apple, I'll cut off the head where the head part of the apple, right? I'll cut it off and I'll start eating the apple, right? But watermelon, oh my God, you're going to wash the watermelon. Then you start cutting the watermelon into different pieces. When you finish cutting the watermelon, you peel off the back of the watermelon, then you arrange it, then you now start eating the watermelon. So you can see that the watermelon is more complex, right, compared to the apple. So that's the way you do your estimation in Agile. You say, oh, that apple, you say that story is small, right? Then you now say the watermelon story is bigger, like it will take me more time to finish it. Do you understand that relative estimation? Okay, great. So in Agile, there are different ways you can do your estimation. So we have what we call the planning poker. We have the bucket system. We have the T-shirt sizing. We have the dot voting, affinity mapping, ordering method. But the most common one is the planning poker. That's the one we call the Fibonacci series, right? It's the most common one you will see within teams, right? That's the one that is very common, and that's the one we're going to use, okay? T-shirt sizing. Some organizations use T-shirt sizing, especially when when you're working in a very big organization and they are thinking in terms of feature levels, big items, right? They will use the t-shirt sizing, okay? Okay, so this is just the level of requirements. We've talked about this before, right? You have your team, then you have your features, you have your story card, then you can now break down your story into details, okay? So this is the t-shirt sizing, right? So the t-shirt sizing says that your story, your small story is like a 21 story point. You can see the big story, Excel, is like a 100 story point. So imagine features, big features. So like when we say something like, let's just say we want to build a web app, right? We are not looking at the details of the web app, but we are just looking at it as we want to build a web app, right? You know that place we're putting platform compliance, right? We might not even, web app might just be web app, that's what we are building, or website, right? So that's like a big features on its own. They can now say, okay, when they are estimating, comparing to other work they need to do, they might say, oh, in relation to other work, this is 100, right? On a bigger level. Now that we are at that product level, building a web app on its own, you are going to use something we call the Fibonacci series. So what the Fibonacci series is saying is that if I take a story, if I take Apple, and I say Apple is not going to take me a lot of effort, right? And I put Apple as one story point, right? I will take watermelon. I will now say, watermelon, is it going to take me double of the work I did on Apple? If it's going to take me double of the work, I will say 2 story points. You get? But if I now say watermelon will take me 2 story points, right? And now let's look at yam. So if I want to eat yam instead of watermelon, I will have to cut the yam, remove all the bark, wash the yam, put it on the fire, and do that. The complexity is higher, right? We'll now say yam. With yam, if I want to now estimate yam, I'll look at how long it's taking me to do watermelon, which I'm saying is 2, and how long it's going to take me to do apple, which I say is 1. I'll say, for me to do this yam, it's taking me more work, it's more complex, right? In short, it's like watermelon 2 times. Or you understand what I'm trying to say? So you can now say that, oh, it's going to take me, the time it's going to take me to do the watermelon and it's going to take me to do apple is what it will take me to do yam. And remember, you've estimated apple as 1, you've estimated watermelon as 2, you will be estimating yam as 3, because you are now going to add the complexity of apple and the complexity of watermelon to give you the complexity of, to give you the effort it will take you to do yam. 3. Right? So if the next item you pick is more difficult than yam, you look at the effort. The next effort level is 5. So that's how Fibonacci series work. The next one is 8. If you look at the effort it will take you to do an item and it's more than 13, that story should be an epic, right? If it's more than 13, or you do a story and the story is 21, you are saying that it is too big. Break it down. It is too big. Break it down into smaller cards. Okay? Yes, it sounds like you need to have a foundational reference point for effort. Exactly. So that will be your benchmark to determine your estimation. Very correct. So let's say for what we are documenting before, login. We can say, oh, login, how long will it take me to create a login page? I need to have the page, what should be on my login page, username, the password, and all that. Okay, so you now use it to estimate how long it will take me to do a title track. You know that for me to do title track, I need to first understand all the titles. I need to be able to order the title A to Z. Oh, it will take me more effort, right? So you will now be relating it to login page. If you say login page will take you 2 story points, you should know that title track will take you more than that. Okay, so that's how you do that, your estimation. Okay, so that's how Fibonacci series work. Anything more than 13, you say this is an epic. So you take it to an epic. Okay, is it clear? Any question, Bab? Mo, do you have a question?
Yes, I do. My question is with respect to the epic and story points that we did. So, based on how we did it collaboratively earlier, so does this mean, because my understanding of story point and epic is like, oh, we're just supposed to write it out in like flesh it out in stories. So with this, we still have to write it out in stories, or we can leave.
Yes. Like this. Yes, we'll write it out when we get to Jira. We still have to. We'll get there. We are almost done. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we are almost done. So what we want to do now is we want to actually estimate this, right, as a team, right? So we want to estimate this, right? So when we estimate this, what we want to get from it is that we want to know what our initial backlog is. When we do our initial backlog, we do our initial velocity, we calculate our release one. Then when we know what our release one is, which is our MVP, then those things we've agreed as our MVP, we'll now take those stories. We now need to start breaking it down. But obviously, we'll not do everything right. We'll do some. We'll break it down, and that is what it will now be in terms of, I'll show you an example. We are not yet there, but let me just show you what you're talking about. So this is what you're talking about in terms of breaking it down, right? You can see login is our story card, right? But for login, you still need to now write stories on login, then write the acceptance criteria. You get? But what we have that I was showing you before is just the story card, right? That's where you start from. And we are doing all this because this is when you get a new project, these are the things you have to do. But if the team is already in existence, it's easier because everything will already be in the backlog. They will just be refining it from the backlog. They've done all these parts. But if they've not done it and they give you a new project, you have to go through this. You understand? So now we want to estimate this story, and we're going to do it together as well. So what we are going to use is planning poker. Our time is over, but we're going to be doing this tomorrow. So planning poker online. So you can also use Mural to do it. Yeah, we can also use Mural. You know that voting I showed you the other time? We can also use that, right? So tomorrow we'll use planning poker. No, I have my own planning poker. Sorry, I'll open up that. Okay, we'll do that tomorrow. Don't let me go into that. So what we're going to do is we are going to estimate all this story so that we can know what our initial backlog is. Then from there, we calculate our release one. I'll show you how they get that release one, then how the team will now start working on it. So when we are able to finish all that tomorrow, we'll start our sprints. Okay? Any question?
Hey, Florence.
Hey, Bob.
Sorry, quick question. Do you have all these fantastic tools like in the kind of what I call a Google Doc or somewhere that one can reference? Because I think I probably gotten like over 30 different tools that I'm excited about from your teaching.
Okay.
So is there any way we can, I know that we can watch the videos and take them one by one, but it would be nice to actually know what tool to use for which kind of event or something. I don't know if you don't have that. If you have that, that would be helpful.
Okay, I can put that somewhere for, for everyone and just send it to everyone, right? That for this, you can use this, for this, you can use this, okay?
Thank you very much, Florence.
Okay. Yeah. Any other question? And the more you can use this tool, the more you're going to shine. You know what? Like sometimes on my project, sometimes they'll just be having issues and they'll just say, oh, Florence, can you help us with this jQuery? I'm like, oh, okay, no problem. It will take me in less than 5 minutes, but by the time I finish it, everybody will just say, oh, thank you, Florence, thank you, Florence, thank you, Florence. Like, oh, like I did something very majestical. You understand? So it's very good to be able to use the tool sometime. And I'm also trying to tell you that sometime it might not even be needed. See what Messi did the other time, right? For the personnel, right? She still make it look beautiful, right? You know, things like that. You know, the team, they cherish all those kind of things, right? You know, sometimes maybe when I'm less busy, I try to, so when you guys start working in your group, your conference page, the front page, you know, you can design it to make it look beautiful, right? When I'm less busy, I try to do things like that, you know, just to make it look good. And when the team gets to that side, they are impressed, right? They like it, right? So that's how to help your team and also, you know, collaborate with them, okay? The market analysis info, you know, I'm not into marketing survey research, right? I'm not a product owner, but I will help you get that because I attend the product management meeting. And if anyone is on Clubhouse, you can also join that meeting as well. The guy works in Microsoft, is a product manager, and he does, you know, it helps a lot, talks about products and teach people about product. Financial tools to build case. Okay, I have that one. I will send it. I'll send it. Before we finish this, I'll send it, okay? Agile metrics, Nena, okay? Agile metrics, you know, the burn down, we'll get there. When we finish our sprint, before we finish our sprint, I'll show you, okay? Can you include the link for Clubhouse? Okay, I hope I remember all these things. Link for Clubhouse, okay? I'll do that. Business case, okay? Yeah, do we have any other question?
Hi, Florence, I do.
Okay, what's the question?
Yeah, what I was asking about this agile metrics is this. I know sometimes there was this interview that what I wanted to find out was how you can rate an agile team, and they just gave me some kind of document with some kind of numbers and everything. So I was wondering if it is part of this curriculum like you have here, or if it is something more vast than, what you're talking about.
Team. How you can rate them.
How you can rate them.
They are talking about, I think that is different. You're talking about the maturity of the team.
Yeah, you could see that they had some kind of things going on in review, and things were not being moved. You could see the number of stories that they were completing or couldn't complete. At some point, they had to have some extra resources. You know, they had all those things written out, and they wanted to know how you would rate them. So I was wondering if that's going to be part of what you would teach us, or?
No, the agile metric that I'm talking about is how to know like your
the
velocity,
chart, velocity, and the rest of it.
Exactly, that you see it on Jira.
Yeah, this one I'm talking about, which means this one I'm talking about is totally different. This is kind of like a coach stuff, agile coach.
Yeah, so the agile coach will come in and say, okay, they want to check the team's maturity. So there are things the agile coach will be looking out for. Their sprint burn down chart. How are they doing? Are they moving their items? Or they are not moving their items? What is their velocity? Are they even following their velocity, or they are taking more than they can chew? And they are not completing work every sprint, right? So they have like a criteria for every organization, not like for every organization. All agile coaches come together to determine criteria for maturity. So we have beginners, we have people that, let's say they are in steady state, you know, people that are, you know, level 2, level 3, level 4, I think to level 5. So you can now rate that team to determine if they are agile enough or what level they have. So some team right now, they will do stories, but they will not write acceptance criteria. They will not hide all those things, right? So those are some of the things they will use to rate them. So if a team takes a story point, they are able to rate it. They are able to write the description. They're able to write the acceptance criteria and all those details, right? So that's how you rate them to know what level of maturity they have.
Okay, so what do you call that process? Since it's not the agile metrics, I was thinking that was what it was.
That's just agile maturity. You want to find out the
just agile maturity.
Yes,
okay.
Yeah. So you can Google more about agile maturity to learn about the maturity of a team, to see how a team is in terms of agility.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Are we good? I think we are 6 minutes So I'll take Tammy's question and from there we'll close. Any other question will be tomorrow. Tammy.
Yeah, I just wanted to, maybe kind of add to what, I'm not sure what the name of the last speaker was, but I think maybe what she might be asking will be that, how do you measure the success of a team? Like how the team is performing, I know maturity is part of it, but maybe is a team has not been meeting their goals sprint on sprint. How do you tell what's going on? Like if you're told to measure, why has this team not been meeting their goals? Like what could be wrong with that team? What could be the problems that the team is facing that is not allowing them meet their goals? Maybe for the last 6 sprints, they haven't been able to meet their goals. And as a Scrum Master, maybe you're new and you're asked to diagnose what is wrong with the team.
So that's more like a team diagnosis, right? You're trying to see what the problem is so that you can help them, help them solve the problem. Let me use that word. Help the team to be high performing, right? So you are doing a diagnosis of the team. So you're going to be using the metric, all those details as well to find out. So yeah. And it's also part of the question that you ask when a team is to understand the maturity of that team.
So what kind of question would you ask the team?
The question, there are a lot of questions. You want to see their sprint burn down chart. You want to understand their velocity in, out, to see if the velocity they are doing their story point that they're taking every sprint is almost the same, or sometimes they are doing 50, another time they are doing 30. Like, what is the problem? Why is this so, the kind of work they are achieving, right? Why is it so different, right? There are so many things. You want to understand how they are writing their stories, right? What does their board look like? Do they write their acceptance criteria? What are the little things that needs to be done? The description, the acceptance criteria, are they put in that? Do they have a definition of done? Right? When they finish working, do they test? What are they looking out for? So those are the things you want to document. Their increments that they say every 2 weeks. What do they churn out every 2 weeks? Right? So you want to see if the team is high performing. There are a lot of questions you can put together. And I think even if you go online, you see a lot of checklists that you can already use. You don't even need to start. Check scrum.inc and all those places. You see a lot of things that are already in place. Yes, it's team dependent. What is an acceptable spread in terms of, no, it's team dependent. It determines your allocation, your capacity. If someone is doing 50, if your allocation is 50%, you don't expect the velocity that will be working on that team to be people that are 100% on that team alone, that their own job is just that product, right? The velocity will be different, okay? Okay. Let's stop there this night, and tomorrow we'll do the estimation. Let me see how you people will estimate, and let's start asking questions, okay? Thank you. Have a lovely night, and we'll speak tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you, Florence.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Florence.